Welcome back. This video, what I want to share with you guys is my experience with something called intuitive education. Now this is simply understanding that we can go within to find answers, and ultimately it's the answer to the question of how can I know myself more. Like a lot of the spiritual masters in the past, whether it be the idea of Buddha or Jesus, have said this idea of know thyself. And with it comes this idea of how do we actually do that? What are some practical processes we can use? And how can we use certain tools, such as meditation, in order to know more of who we are? Well, this is what I'm going to share with you. Now, when I say know thyself, I'm not saying that I'm enlightened. What I am saying is that I've come to know more of who I am through the idea of meditation. And I think it's funny because a lot of times to say the idea that I know who I am, we are so vast and so far beyond what we could even possibly imagine that almost the best answer to that is I don't know who I am, because that comes from the actual awareness that we're from, or not even from, but that we are more expansive than we can possibly imagine. And that's why sometimes you'll hear spiritual masters, people ask who are they, and they'll say I don't know. And that's their answer, and that's actually a very good answer, because it goes to show that we are infinite possibility, that we exist on multiple different levels rather than just this one physical experience. We exist far beyond that. So there's actually much more to it than we can possibly even imagine. But what I want to show you in this video is how to tailor the idea of intuitive information, of knowing more about who we are, and how we can almost align ourselves to that inner guidance. Now, let me just share a little bit about how I do this in daily life. Just the other day I was at work, and sometimes I work a sales commission job, so I only get paid based upon how much I sell for the day. I get paid a percentage of that, so I only make money if I'm in an abundant state. And sometimes I'll notice that what will happen is if I get off that abundance and I start to realize that I'm resisting making money, or my interactions with customers aren't going as good as I normally do, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go home that day and I'll meditate and I'll release that resistance. And normally what I'll do, and this has just happened like 2 weeks ago, I realized that what I was doing was I was going about it and just focused on the goal that I had. I then lost any connection that I could make with customers because I was just focused on what they could provide me. I wasn't aware of this when I was in the moment though. And when I went home, I meditated, and I had the intention of releasing the resistance, becoming present to the moment, which a lot of times will help me start to feel better. And what I do is when I go into my meditations, I just simply know, I just choose to believe and know it to be true, that when I come out of the meditation, I will have whatever answer, or at least feel like I have the answer to the question that I ask. So the question that I asked in this meditation was, what am I missing? Or what is the missing key that will make me feel abundant? And just information about that. So I went into the meditation. I knew that when I got out of it, I was going to feel better. And after, 15 minutes of meditation, I did feel better. And I had this feeling, or this like nudge, to go open up my iPad. So what I did was I opened up my iPad, and I felt like I clicked on books, the book app, and what I did was I accidentally clicked on a book that I haven't read in a while. It was the book Think and Grow Rich. I've talked about it a couple times on this channel, and it was on a page that the first page that it went to, and it was probably a page that I was reading months and months ago but forgot about it. It was on a page on the idea of adding value and having the intention of serving other people before we have the intention of just what is it in it for me, or what can I get out of this. I immediately knew that that's what I was missing, because when I was that day going up to customers, I was going up to them and thinking about them in a way of, how can you provide me value? How can you help me get my goal? And this happens every now and then, and it's funny because when I'm in the moment, I don't really remember it because I'm feeling that resistance in a way. But anytime this happens, I'll go back to work the next day, and sometimes I'll sell more in that one day, the next day, by having this intention of helping other people, of staying focused on what I'm doing, but have the intention of genuinely helping other people and connecting with them. A lot of times I'll sell more in that one day than I did maybe the whole week before. And it simply becomes, it's from aligning to that, almost that higher consciousness, or that higher information. And my guidance system, how I feel, will always direct me back to it. Now, what I want to do is show you guys how you can apply this in your own life. A lot of times I'll get people that ask me, they'll say, hey, these deep metaphysical truths that you have a lot of information about, how do you come to know them? Well, to be honest with you, a lot of the information that I get comes from meditation. Now, of course, it's elaborated upon through going online and doing my own research or reading books, but most of the time, it actually comes from me going into meditation, knowing that whatever question I have, I will ask the question, and when I come out of it, I know that I'll have the answer, even if that's a feeling. Sometimes in spirituality, they call that claircognizance. Having this ability to have a feeling of something, and that's a lot of times what I begin to cultivate. Is I'm not a very visual person necessarily, but I am a cognizant person to where I can really feel into whatever my intention is of knowing. So what I do is, and this is my process, so this is something you can do too, have the intention of going into meditation or whatever process works for you, and just simply know that you're going to ask the question. You're going to let go of the idea of knowing the answer. You're going to have no doubt whatsoever that when you come out of meditation, you will have the answer to what that is. Now, this could be the feeling. This could be you don't know the details of it, but you know that you're going to have the feeling of, I have the answer. A lot of times we'll continue asking the question over and over again, and we can never experience the answer from the point of view of the question. We have to switch it, and the way that I switch it is through knowing that I can feel that I know the answer. Then what I do is a lot of times I'll go and look to the external factors. So the idea is I could do a little bit of research on it. I could go online, I could read books on people that are maybe experts in the field, and what happens is because I am tuned to this idea, this claircognizance, when I am doing research, it's very easy for me to determine whether something resonates with the truth within me or doesn't resonate. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll be going through information, and something might not resonate with me, I'll just discount it. I won't pay any more attention to it, but I'll go to a source that does resonate with me, and I will choose to read that. And if it resonates with me, that is part of the truth that I had the intention of knowing. So this process is very simply going into meditation, releasing resistance by becoming present to the moment, by observing our thoughts rather than being reactant to it, then having this knowing that we will have the answer to whatever question we have when we come out of meditation. Then what we do is we ask the question, we let go of the answer, and as we let go of the answer, then what we do is we stay present to the feeling of what it would feel like to actually have the answer to whatever we want. Then what we do is we go into our life and we might look for synchronicities. This could be the idea that something kind of pops in front of you that you weren't expecting, or maybe a book falls off, the shelf when you're moving stuff around, or the idea that you're online and you see something that kind of buzzes inside you and you want to look more upon that. The idea is that we can look first to ourselves, develop the feeling within us, then we can look to the external for more details, more information, but really that comes from within. But the idea is we can use ourselves to elaborate, but we know whether that's true or not with how it resonates with us. So I've learned this, and I've used this for a lot of things in my life. If you have the question, what is your purpose? You can ask the question, you can let go of the answer, you can know that when you get out of meditation, whether you know it right away, that's irrelevant. You know that the answer is inside of you. You then go around your day, you do things, and you pay attention to the signs, you pay attention to the synchronicity, you do a little research, and maybe you do something where you get online or you read books, you find the answer by first going within, feeling the emotion of what it would feel like to have the answer, and then from that place, then what you do is you can look for the details through that. So this is what I call the idea of intuitive education. I know it's a little bit more of a new idea, but I think that learning more about our inner guidance is very important. This has been my process. It has worked wonders for me. I use it almost all of the time for all the information that I share with you guys, even on this channel, and my intention is that maybe you resonate with it and it can work for you as well. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Peace. Much love. Bye.